struggled with the concept of hell since around middle school.
Yes.
Just from knowing and loving people who don't share my faith. So I was just wondering what you would say to that.
Okay, you and I are very similar. And you and I have chosen to put our faith in Christ as an early child, and to be honest with you, I can never remember a time in my life when I did not believe in Jesus. But when I got into about middle school, and people started questioning me about hell, how can you say that God is loving and that He's going to punish people in hell? That was very difficult for me, as it's difficult for you. But then I started to think more deeply about it. You know, I'll bet that every atheist, agnostic professor on every university campus in the United States would be morally outraged if I stepped onto their campus, beat up a little African-American kid. The police came to me and said, "Cliff, what have you done?" And I said, "I just knocked the snot out of that African-American kid." And if the police officer would say to me, "Well, let's go to Starbucks, Cliff. Let's go out and party, Cliff." I'm convinced that every single atheist, agnostic, theist, university professor on every campus would say, "That's outrageous. That's unjust." Bravo. Very good. But what's fascinating is they do not apply the same standard to God. Instead, they say, if there is a God who loves, He's not going to judge anybody. And there's not going to be any punishment of evil. That's about as crazy as saying the police officer, Cliff, who looks you in the face after you've knocked the snot out of a little African-American kid and says, "Hey buddy, let's go have coffee at Starbucks." That's evil. That's the paramount example of injustice. And yet people who understand that, when it comes to me and a little African-American kid, are so intellectually inconsistent and dishonest as to say, well, because God is all loving, He tolerates everything, everything's okay, and we all go to heaven, and there's no hell. Do you see the inconsistency? It's glaring.